Thank you. I want to follow up on something you said. You said the Epstein documents are a hoax that Democrats are perpetrating against the president. You said he didn't sign that check, that he didn't sign the birthday card that he allegedly signed. So what is the theory, since these documents came from the Epstein estate? Who is I guess, in your view, faking these documents?
I did not say the documents are a hoax. I said the entire narrative surrounding Jeffrey Epstein right now that is absorbing many of the liberal cable channels on television is a hoax that is being perpetuated by opportunistic Democrats like Ro Khanna and the others whom you saw on that press conference outside of Capitol Hill who are trying to push this hoax against the President of the United States.
Well, what exactly is the hoax? I'm just trying to understand what's fake. What's fake is not the documents.
The hoax is the Democrats pretending to care about victims of crime when they do not care about victims of crime, when they have done nothing to solve crimes, when they have done nothing to lock up child pedophiles and child rapists across the country, and when they are now using victims as political props to try and, again, smear the President of the United States and drag on this bad story about him. It is a distraction. The Democrats view this story as nothing more than an attempt to distract from the accomplishments and the achievements of this administration.
Caroline, one of the other documents released by the House Oversight Committee contained a photo of Jeffrey Epstein holding an oversized check that was made out to him in the check from the president for $22,000 for a fully depreciated woman. I wondered if the president has any recollection of that, or what you guys make of that photo that was included in those documents.
Did you see the signature on that check? It is not Donald Trump's signature. It is absolutely not. The president did not sign that check.
But does he recognize the woman?
I support a professional handwriting expert review of the document released yesterday to prove that it's not the president's signature?
Sure, we would support that. And in fact, I have already seen many forensic analysts of signatures coming out. I believe it was the Daily Signal that published a piece with 3 separate signature analysts who said that this absolutely was not the president's authentic signature. And we have maintained that position all along. The president did not write this letter. He did not sign this letter. And that's why the president's external legal team is aggressively pursuing litigation against the Wall Street Journal, and they will continue.
The Epstein files are back in the news because a lot of Americans feel that that Jeffrey Epstein's victims never got justice. Does the president care about these victims? Do you think he can does he want to deliver more justice for them, and is he willing to meet with them?
The president cares about victims of all crimes, and that's why Republicans in the Trump Department of Justice have done more in terms of transparency when it comes to the Epstein case than any prior administration. And why are the Democrats all of a sudden caring about this? It's because they are desperately trying to concoct a hoax to smear the President of the United States. We have seen this time and time again. Ro Khanna and all of these other Democrats, they could have cared about those victims 4 years ago when Joe Biden was in office. They could have pushed for transparency then. Unfortunately, the Democrats are using victims as political pawns to try to smear and to push a hoax against the President of the United States. And I will get you numbers on the amount of child predators that this administration and this FBI and this Department of Justice have locked up under President Trump's leadership. We have done more than any president to protect victims of crime, especially disgusting, heinous sexual crimes. And that includes the deportation of illegal aliens who are perpetrating these crimes against innocent victims in our country right now today. And that remains a top priority for this administration.
It's not my signature, and it's not the way I speak. And anybody that's covered me for a long time knows that's not my language. It's nonsense. And frankly, you're wasting your time. All you do is trying to get off the great success of D.C. and about 200 other things we've done that are so successful. This is a great, great success, and we have so many. I don't think any president in their first 8 months has had anywhere near the success that we've had.
Will you meet with the Epstein victims? Do you plan to meet with?
I don't know about. Nobody suggested that. Certainly, I don't like that whole situation with respect to anybody being abused or hurt. But I haven't even thought about that. Thank you all very much. Have a good time.
We've seen the auto pen's been used quite a bit with the Biden administration. So I've never known Trump to be much of an artist either, so I kind of draw that into question.
There's a history of him drawing
stuff. The thing is, it's been there for 4 years, and now it's just come out. I just don't buy it.
So you think really someone might have just forged this somehow and sent this to the Epstein?
Somehow, it's so easy to do. I just don't buy any of it right now because it's prior administration that's had a history of dishonesty, and they bring something like this out now. Why wouldn't they bring it out during the campaign?
And of course, these documents were from the Epstein estate, not from the Biden administration. But nevertheless, you're hearing that defiance from some of those Republicans who had been calling for the release of those documents, but very much siding with the president, which just shows you that perhaps this has not really moved the needle among some of those key Republicans whose support would be needed to force a vote on that bill, calling for the release of all the documents.
Yeah.
At the moment, you're seeing the White House, seeing its allies sort of circle the wagons in the aftermath of the release of that birthday book.
Well, Manu, with the birthday book, obviously it's not illegal to send someone a birthday letter. This was before Jeffrey Epstein had been arrested, I believe, based on the dates of when his 50th birthday would have been. But, when the Wall Street Journal published this story, it kind of bolstered the White House because they'd been under fire by so many in the GOP. And then this came out, people came and rallied to Trump's defense. I wonder if the White House, denying that this letter existed or that was Trump's signature, if that changes anything now that they can kind of look at it with their own eyes.
Yeah, I mean, you heard from Congressman Burchett there. They are believing what the White House is saying, that it's simply not his signature. That is enough for a lot of the Republicans to simply say, okay, I believe you, despite what they're seeing right there. And I actually showed Burchett the letter there. I said, do you want to look at this yourselves? But he still kind of shrugged it off. And that's just what I heard from one Republican after another tonight, Caitlin. So we're seeing a sense that the Republicans are going to fall in line behind Donald Trump on this issue like they have on so many others.
Karoline Leavitt is the epitome of a deer in headlights as she's trying to answer these Trump Epstein questions. There's nowhere for her to go. There's nowhere for her to hide. There's nothing she can do except continue to dig the hole for herself, even deeper than it already is. At the end of the day, there's absolutely no way for Donald Trump or his administration, Karoline Leavitt, or anybody within the right-wing media sphere to spin this. There's just not. And more importantly than what's going on with Epstein is Donald Trump is literally crashing the economy with his decisions. His tariffs are tangibly and objectively raising the prices across the board. Vegetable wholesale prices up 38%, coffee up, ground beef prices are up. And as he continuously destroys our relationship with our allies, renaming the Department of Defense to the Department of War, even though he's the anti-war president, just being the complete antithesis of everything that he ran on in his 2024 campaign, that's really his bigger issue. But the Jeffrey Epstein scandal is really bringing him down. And it just looks bad. It's like Jeffrey Epstein at the end of the day is like the most notorious sex trafficker of modern times, at least, maybe ever, but definitely of modern times, the most child sex trafficker. This is disgusting. And Donald Trump was buddy-buddy with him, writing him love letters, talking about we're going to keep our secrets forever. I mean, what are you going to say? So, go ahead, Karoline, go ahead and continue to dig the hole deeper for yourself. Continue to sell your soul, whatever's left of it, because it's not looking good for the future of this administration.